Ever stop and wonder how our brains actually get, well, built? It's not just some kind of magic, you know? It's this fascinating construction project that starts way before we're even born. So in this explainer, we're going to break down the incredible science behind how a child's brain architecture really takes shape. Let's dive in.
Okay, to get our heads around this, let's start with a kind of strange question. How is a brain like a house? It might seem a little weird at first, but trust me, this one simple metaphor is the key to understanding the entire process of brain development.
And the answer? It's all about building a strong foundation. Seriously. Just like a house, a brain absolutely needs a solid base to support everything. And I mean everything that gets built on top of it. And those early life experiences, they're the concrete, the steel beams, the very bedrock of that foundation.
So in this massive construction project, who's the architect and who's the crew? Well, that's where two major forces come into play: our genes and our experiences.
Think of it like this. Your genes, they're the blueprint. They provide the basic plan for the house, mapping out the general layout, where the rooms are supposed to go. But it's our experiences that are the construction crew. They're the ones actually pouring the concrete, putting up the walls, and wiring all the electricity. You really can't have one without the other.
All right, so how does this whole build actually get started? It begins at the most basic level, by laying the very first parts of the foundation, where the simplest connections start to form.
The fundamental building block for all this is the neuron. It's a special kind of brain cell, and its whole job is to send these tiny little electrical signals to other neurons to communicate. Every single thought, every feeling, every action, it's all powered by these signals zipping back and forth.
Now, what's really cool is how simple this process starts out. First, you've got neurons sending out signals. Then, when they connect up, they form circuits. And these first super simple circuits, they become the absolute foundation of the brain's entire architecture.
So once that basic foundation is in place, the construction work goes into total overdrive. We're talking about a period of unbelievably rapid growth, where the brain just starts wiring itself up at a mind-boggling pace.
And when I say rapid, I really mean it. During this critical time, you've got billions of brain cells firing and wiring together, creating this incredibly dense and complex network. The scale of it is just staggering to even think about.
Now here's the really crucial part. As these billions of connections are forming, they get stronger through repeated use. The more a signal travels down a specific path, the stronger and more efficient that path becomes. It's kind of like turning a faint little trail in the woods into a 6-lane superhighway.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. So what decides which of those paths become superhighways? It's our experiences, our environment. The things the child sees, hears, touches, and feels literally dictate which of their brain circuits get used the most, and therefore, which ones get strengthened.
And we're not just talking about some abstract wiring here. These are the circuits for real, tangible skills, the foundation for how we manage our emotions, how we control our behavior, how we learn language, form memories, even how we think logically. It's all being wired up during this time.
But wait, what happens to all those connections that don't get used? Well, the brain has this really clever quality control process. You can think of it like a renovation phase, and it's all governed by one simple powerful rule: use it or lose it.
This process is called pruning, and it's a totally normal and actually essential part of development. All it means is that connections that aren't getting much traffic just fade away. It's not a bad thing at all. It's the brain's genius way of becoming more streamlined and efficient.
So you've basically got two possible outcomes for every single neural connection. The ones that get used all the time, they grow stronger, more permanent. Those are our superhighways. And the ones that get ignored, they get pruned away, which clears out the clutter and frees up resources for the paths that really matter.
And the end result of all this intense building and careful pruning, you get a masterpiece of efficiency. The well-used circuits that are left behind become these lightning-fast pathways that let signals shoot across the brain in an instant.
Okay, so let's zoom out and take a look at the final structure. All of these different processes, the building, the strengthening, the pruning, they all come together to create a foundation that's going to last a lifetime. It's an architecture that will influence our learning, our behavior, and our health for decades to come. And it's so important to remember that this construction happens in a specific order. Simple circuits, like for basic sight and sound, they form first, and they provide the necessary foundation for more complex circuits, like logic and language, to be built right on top of them.
I mean, you can't build the second story of a house before the first floor is stable, right?
And what's really crucial here is that none of these circuits work in a vacuum. They are all deeply interconnected. You can't have strong emotional skills without support from your logic circuits. You can't build language skills without memory. A strong foundation in one area literally supports and strengthens all the others.
And this just brings us right back to our main idea, and it's summed up perfectly here. Just like building a house, everything in the brain is connected. And what comes first, those early foundational experiences, shapes everything that comes later.
Understanding this process is just incredibly empowering. It shows us exactly how profound, how important those early years are for shaping a person's entire life. Which really leaves us with one last powerful question to think about. What kind of foundation are we helping to build?
Goodbye.